Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Evil. Today's going to be a little different than usual. We're going to be talking about feminism, but this is a radio show, so let's start with the song.
That girl thinks she's the queen of the neighborhood. She got the hottest drag in town. That girl, she holds her head up so high. I think I wanna be your best friend, yeah. Rebel girl, you are the queen of my world.
In the household I grew up in, we never really talked about being a feminist or what feminism is, so for a long time I thought feminists just hated men. Now, I'm not saying that some don't, but that's not what the word actually means. Because it took me so long to know what a feminist is, I decided to ask people I know what one is in their opinion. A few of the replies I got include go women, then a person's name that I'm choosing to keep out of this to protect their identity. This next one is a mouthful. A person who advocates for women's rights, equality, expressing concerns and hates the hierarchy of male power and accessibility over women, making women in education and jobs and overall importance feel more included and valued. Next one I got is, to me, feminism is about supporting women in society and genuinely wanting the best for them, being excited when they make successes and when they move forward. But as women, we need to understand that we need to support each other as a unit we need to come together and stand up for ourselves. Once we do that, I think that would be pure feminism in its finest. A feminist is somebody who wants equal rights for men and women alike, often misconstructed because women want justice and men think it's outlandish. Overall, my responses were mostly good, but these next two made me think about how much time I spent on them. One was a Karen, and the other one is wannabes that just want to get on the news. Now, that is definitely the case for some feminists, but both of these coming from women in my life was very off-putting. While writing this, I'm still getting replies. One almost made me nope out of a friendship. We were talking about feminism, and he says, "I don't wanna." And I figured he was joking, but I truly don't know what to expect out of this generation anymore. I had to wait till he said he was joking to make sure I wanted to spend, at the time, the last 6 days messaging him back and forth. Now we've been together for almost 2 months. So he made it very clear that it's a very stupid joke. Maybe I should tell you my definition before I say the real one. To me, feminism is a movement to help empower women, helping them be seen and equal to men. To be able to feel safe in the world and do whatever legal, listen closely, legal things they want to do. The real definition is advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes, a person who supports feminism. What does feminism mean to you? I'll let you think about that question while I tell a story. I did a lot of stuff in my 7th grade year. One of the things that happened is the school wanted to change the dress code. A few girls had already had problems getting dress coded by wearing the same things other girls would without getting dress coded, if you know what I mean. Two of the main things they wanted to change was us not being allowed to wear tank tops, even in gym class, and us not being allowed to wear ripped jeans. I don't wear tank tops at school at this point in time, but I did wear ripped jeans. I'm all for people wearing whatever they want as long as it's not hurting anybody and they aren't half nude. So I made a plan. We got all the girls we could to come to school in tank tops and ripped jeans for the next few days. So many people were wearing that they couldn't dress code everybody and just gave up. Later we learned that they were going to have to change the dress code because a few of the teachers didn't want to keep their eyes off teenage girls. Even though I did this, I didn't really think that I was a feminist. I actually didn't really know till like 9th grade. I might have done that little thing 3 years ago at this point. But I've done a lot of research since then. One of the biggest feminists is Gloria Steemered, sorry if I said that wrong. She's known as a mama feminist because she led a lot of big protests in the 60s and 70s. Does the 70s sound familiar? It's when Roe v. Wade happened. I truly believe Roe v. Wade is when a lot of people started being feminists. I told myself I wasn't going to get into Roe v. Wade in school projects anymore, but I didn't make the show to not say my own opinion. I'm pro-choice. You can agree with me or disagree with me, but I watched a friend who would have died if she wasn't able to have an abortion. She was also fighting cancer, but that's unrelated other than the fact she already had a lot going on. Even before I knew her, I still thought people should have their own choice. And we aren't friends anymore, and I still agree with this. I know I won't be able to change anybody's opinions on feminists, but I can hope you can, but I still hope you can listen and think, why do I believe women shouldn't be able to do whatever they want with their own bodies? Sorry, I know I'm getting a little feisty. I must be on my period. And that is exactly why we need feminists. You may be sitting here and wondering how to be a feminist. The main thing is literally to believe that women are equal to men. What other things you can do is support women in music, women's health, and just in life as a whole. Some organizations to look out for. A big one is Planned Parenthood. Some other ones are the National Organization for Women, Lesbian Feminist Organization in the United States. That's only 3, but it's super easy to find them. Those are only in America, so sorry for my non-American friends. As part of the English project will be about how women, feminists, and everything like that is shown in media and books. In my English class, we read a book called Things Fall Apart. For my essay, I wrote about how women are treated in the book. We learned very little about the women. Basically, all we learn is how they do everything wrong. We don't learn names, we learn whose wife they are or whose mother they are. If they're young, then we learn who their father is. I think we learn so little about the women in this book, so when something horrible happens to them, like they get raped, beat, or killed, we can't have remorse for them like we could if we knew them a lot better. Part of the reason why this is a problem that we don't actually see in the book but know will happen is the young boys will learn to think like their fathers do, thinking that women are less than them. Now, this is partially just a cultural thing, but they aren't from America. So we can assume that they're basically like 1950s housewives. They did the cooking, cleaning, taking care of the children. I think part of it was even how the women schooled them. While the men went off hunting and stuff like that. We don't know what the time frame is in this book, but I would say pretty early on in the 1900s, if I had to guess. Next, it's songs. I'm not going to go deep into most of the songs, but this one I think is important too. Labor by Paris Pamela.
The callous skin on my hands is cracking. If our love ends, would that be a bad thing? And the silence once I bet chamber. You make me do too much labor. All day, every day, therapist, mother maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, live to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her. You make me do too much labor.
The lyrics of the song are about pain, anger, and exhaustion women have been faced throughout history. The song is a critique of patriarchal expectations of women in the cycle of abuse. The music video is showing Paris being a housewife throughout the whole video. I think it is to show how outdated the idea of housewives are or should be. Before I give you some more music suggestions, want to know a fun fact? I'm going to assume you said yes. Back in the 19th century, a lot of people's favorite authors were actually women using male pen names because it's the only way to make sure they had a fair chance of being a successful writer. Oh, this part I'm going to hate editing. Some suggestions to let out your riot girl are Weird Girl by Mommy Longlegs.
Rather make out with my TV screen than anyone on the football team. I'd rather touch myself to Vincent Price movies. 'Cause I wanna be a weird girl, weird girl, weird girl. I wanna be a weird, 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 weird girl. I wanna be a freak girl, freak girl, freak girl. I wanna freak you out 'cause I'm a freaky fucking girl.
Sorority Girls by Mommy Longlegs.
I'll do whatever it takes to be an alpha god.
Alpha, Beta, Delta, Placenta, Venus, Magma, Alfalfa. Hey, 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 girls, let's all look the same and act really fucking stupid 'cause they like us that way. Hey, 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 boys, let's go to the frat party. The theme's white people, get your roofies ready.
Cool Schmool by Bratmobile.
I was telling me, what's so cool about what I'm wearing? Then you can't even tell me how you feel, and you can't even be my friend for real.
Just some general good bands are Bikini Kill, Mommy Longlegs, Bratmobile, Sorry Mom, and there are some other really good ones you can find pretty easily. Thank you for listening to me basically just ranting about feminism for a little while.
Yippee! Okay. No, what if that ends up messing up everything? I'm just like, ah! Okay.